In the walk of life, I've come to realize something very important, which is your energy. Your energy says a lot about you and how you approach things of life. When properly channeled and guarded jealously, you can make a lot out from it, especially when you're young. So I take myself as a case study. My journey through life. I realized I have to give it all I've got in order to understand my environment and make the best outcome from it. So I channeled my energy towards three things: finance, agriculture, and technology. I'll break it down with stories. Everything is interwoven. So let's talk about technology. In the early years, when technology came on board, we have the industrial age where we have companies building things. Over time, the internet came on board and you went into another age which gave birth to the blockchain. With the aid of internet, we have another age which is this new era, the AI. The AI has given so many flexibility and speed in achieving things to get done at a shorter period of time. Though it has its own setbacks, but those that know how to leverage on it has been using it to achieve what they want. So, and that brings me to agriculture. As you can see, I'm in our farm today, and they're doing just fine. Let me give you a backstory how everything started. In 2022, my friend introduced me into Web3. That was my lowest moment. Lowest. And I lost good amount of money I raised through agriculture. I lost it. But when I got into Web3, I realized that this is something new. This is untapped. So I saw opportunity. I started learning about it, learning and participating. I started with zero, nothing, just growing, getting to know people. From there, I started acquiring NFTs. And NFTs to me are digital assets. And it means non-fungible token. There are lots to it. So after acquiring some NFTs, I have this principle I use, which was taught to me by someone I hold dear. He said, if something gives you some amount of money, take part of the profit and reinvest in that thing that gave you that amount of money. And over time, you build wealth, provided it is calculated. So I went all in into Web3 and NFTs. It has so many branches. Mind you, I was introduced into Web3 by a good friend of mine, Freddie. He taught me a lot, and from there I had to build on the foundation. Going on, I acquired a lot of money from Web3. Yes, through NFTs. These NFTs are in form of assets, just like the way you buy land and it appreciates. Unless you sell that land, you will not have liquid cash. So I accumulated a lot. And most of the project that was holding their NFTs, they were doing so fine. When I calculated the amount of money I've made within 1 year, I was shocked. But just like life would always happen, it did happen. And most of those projects crashed like in a blink of an eye. In fact, the biggest crash I had was there was a particular project that was doing fine. Like one NFT rose to about $1,500 for one, and I was holding. And then I got about 10, but I kept holding. Then all of a sudden, it crashed. And this guy had 5 projects, and those 5 projects, I own their NFTs, like big chunk. As I realized that I've lost almost everything because the guy, I banked on him, and he was my biggest bag as at then. So I started thinking, how do I get off this mess? Is this how I want my life to go? I said no. What did I do? I thought of an alternative. Now, NFTs, blockchain is fast, the technology is sweet, but it has high volatility. I started thinking of what to slow the movement. I needed roots to invest. So that was when I looked back and I said, okay, I'll go into agriculture and continue from where I stopped with my friend, my partner. And as God would have it, one wanted to start, it was very challenging. Let no one lie to you. Without capital, without the environment, the land, agriculture is not easy. Not to talk about the knowledge. You need the knowledge as well. Very grounded. So, we got the land, which is here, you see today. But capital, nowhere to be found. We got the energy. We got ideas on what we wanted. So to build, but there was no access to funds. We started going about looking for assistance. But life will always happen. Aid was not coming forth. So I remember the first financial aid we got was from a family member. And yes, we started from there. But we still have a lot to put in place. What did we do? I went back to my NFTs, put some in the marketplace, and luckily, I sold 2 for a good amount of money. Yeah, one as at then was going at $900, so I sold 2, and I went all in into agriculture. And that singular act, that was the only investment I truly did not regret. Now we got the funds. We started little. I started putting in all we've got, the energy. My partner and I, we put in all, because it has to succeed or it succeeds. We are down. So the only way is up. You have to grow. So put in all. Lucky for us, or the first 1 year we were embraced by life. We cultivated sweet corn 4 times, and 4 times we lost. But did we give up? No. We went even harder because we saw the loophole and we worked to solve it. We had to set up a system because we cannot depend on electricity and we cannot depend on petrol. So set up a system, we went green, totally green. All the profit we started making were invested back into agriculture fully. That was how we started building. We got our solar and we got our irrigation system. So the farm is fully irrigated. And we're still going to cover everywhere. Like today, I came to work. So we'll start that, covering everywhere. You just don't have to give up. You don't have to give up. I'll stop here for now. Maybe over time, I'll be sharing more as we grow. Financial management can be very tricky. But you have to understand yourself first. 2, you work on your cash flow. You need to find something that is rooted and consistent in giving you income. Then to scale it, you need something that is fast. That is where technology comes in. For example, the elite has been playing this game for a long time, and many don't get it. They are well vested in real estate, in their companies. But you find them attaching themselves into stocks, blockchain, AI, because they understand that when they are rooted, all they have to do is to leverage on the technology around them to increase their income. So they create a consistent loop of money management. When they make from the stock, they fix it, their real estate. While their real estate is also generating some funds, giving them back to take more risk. Life is all about risk. Not taking risk is more risky than taking calculated risk. Portfolio management. You spread your risk across board. In any institution you find yourself, more like creating enterprise. Let me give you a scenario of what I'm saying about. In agriculture, for example, we have this. This is our pepper. This is a long-term crop, period of 1 year. Then we have this tomato already rounding up. This goes 5 months. And if you look around, we have other crops. So, all are generating income when their time is due. And we are spreading the risk and not giving it all into one, putting all our eggs in one basket. But before you do that, you have to be grounded in knowledge and create a system around it so that you can replicate and keep growing. Remember, let's see what will happen if we don't give up in the next 5 years? I'll leave you with two words from two of my mentors. The first one was back when I was in school. He said, and I quote, "Think globally and act locally." Those words kept me going until I perceived the world differently. I had to rephrase it into think globally and locally and act globally as well as locally. Spread it. The world is one big global village. And the second is after I left school, I went to meet him in his office. And this, my mentor said, it struck a chord. He said, as a young individual, if you don't have money, have energy. You can't afford to lack both. That's life. That's life.